Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and I got a new chair, so if I swivel around, it's because I don't know how to behave with a swirly chair. But in other news, Amberlynn has posted 2 new videos since I last was here to talk to you, and I did say that I would react to the one on that she posted on Saturday, on Monday, i.e. today. But the thing is that she's already posted a new one, first of all, and second of all, I watched that 12-minute long vlog, and it was probably one of the most boring vlogs I've seen her post in a minute. And this is coming from the person who actually really does enjoy when she just does mundane, silly, stupid stuff. And it's just like, this one was not giving at all. So I'm not going to do a proper reaction, but I do want y'all to know potentially a little bit about what you missed. So the title of the video from Saturday was Target Haul, Perfume, Organization, and Best Mascara Ever, bar vlog. And honestly, here's the highlights, okay? She got some butterfly clips so she could relive her 90s fantasy. She complained about the new season of Grey's Anatomy. She thirsted over Blake Lively and kept weirdly calling her daddy. She cleaned her bathroom and reorganized stuff in there for the 1200th time on her channel in just the past, 2 to 3 to 4 months. And she sat in her bra on camera and said, "Get used to it, haters. This is just like a bikini." And I have to say the most interesting thing that she said or did in the whole video came at the very end of it. And I'll play the clip, but she said a little something that seemed a little shady towards anybody who's ever participated in her vlogs in the past.
I just know a lot of people come for me because I don't live the same life that I used to live years ago, and it's just people change, and I just have a different journey in life. This is a different era in life right now, but I'd rather be surrounded with a couple people who truly love me and respect me, who don't want to be on camera, versus tons of people who do want to be on camera but make me feel like crap every single day. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, your channel's so boring now because no one wants to be on your vlogs," and it's because of some of the people watching me. It gets IRL in real life. People harass and stalk and do crazy mean things, and people in my life don't want to be a part of that, and I understand. I also don't want people in my life to be a part of that because it's vicious, and I love the people in my life and I don't want them to be hurt. And yeah, so for now it's gonna be me, and it's only gonna be me. That's how my channel started, and that's how it's gonna continue.
And listen, I feel it and I understand where people are coming from, and I also understand why she's not doing more to make people participate in her vlogs. But I do always find it interesting when she sits on her little chair there and she talks about how "Oh, well, this is just who I am now. This is just what my channel is." And it's yeah, that's fine, bestie. But it's a fair criticism to say that your vlogs and your life was much more interesting when you were interacting with other people. So anyways, that was that vlog. That's what you missed. Not a whole lot happened, nothing that was too awfully interesting. So I'm hoping today's video will be a little bit better, mostly because it's longer and I'm guessing she actually had something a little bit more to give, but also because the title is a little bit more interesting. Today's video is called Lab Results, Weight Loss Surgery Update, and Am I a Spoiled Brat? Bar vlog. And I'm curious because I did see her post on Instagram asking for questions that she would use in a vlog, which is interesting to me considering she just said that she couldn't handle the Q&As on Instagram. But I guess as long as you're taking the questions on Instagram and putting them into a YouTube video, then the mental health concerns you have about people asking you questions on Instagram suddenly go away because you're just asking about them on YouTube. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a part of this vlog or if that's for a future vlog. I feel like that has to be where the spoiled brat part of this title comes into question, into play. But in general, I'm hoping this isn't just her sitting down and answering questions from Instagram, because then is that really a vlog? Is that really a vlog? But just looking at the start of this video, she's sitting down. She's sitting down in what I think is her office. So hopefully we get a little bit more than just her sitting and talking at the camera. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get to, shall we?
Hey guys,
hey.
Welcome to a new video. So
Hi.
I finished the Stillwater Girls.
Now I know you're not starting off with a book club review. I know I'm not gonna have to edit out the very first part of this video because I don't give a shit.
I feel like some people are bored with my book talk, so I'm not gonna explain it too hard.
T, that's me. Ring-a-ling-ling, dim-a-lam-lam, ding-ding-dong, ding-dong, me. I don't know what noises I was trying to make there, but that was me.
But I officially have started It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. 59 pages in, but either way, I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. You guys.
Okay. Oh.
On page 1.
Bestie, I thought you were done. I thought you put the book down. I thought we were done talking about it. I was ready to go on.
40. I've been doing just like nothing but reading today. But
okay.
I did get a phone call from the weight loss clinic, so I have a little update on that. They got my lab results finally.
Okay.
And they tested like a bunch of different things, and everything came back fine. Besides, my vitamin D is very low.
Listen, bestie, I relate so much, bestie. That's why I've been taking vitamin D this winter, because I have been so seasonally depressed. So I feel you, bestie. I'm on the same page.
So they're prescribing me like a very high dosage of vitamin D for me to take once a week. Prescribed. So I'm actually gonna go get that from the pharmacy. So I'm just very relieved to hear that like your girl, the results came back pretty well, because I knew that the
results came back pretty well. What does that mean? Does that sound weird to anybody else? The results came back pretty well. Like, that is not how you would normally say that, like, the results came back good. Why not just say that? For the most part, the results came back good. All I gotta do is take some more I'm nitpicking, but it just sounded so weird in my brain.
Vitamin D was low, like it's been low.
Oh, what do you know about that low vitamin D?
It's been very low for years now. So, yeah, I just know I'm gonna feel a lot better.
Good.
Really high dosage vitamin D, because I've taken one in the past and it helps a lot. So another update I have is, you guys know how, like, I said that I found out that I have to go a whole year without thinking, and like I kind of had like a little breakdown moment. Like, I cried in front of my dietitian. It was embarrassing, but you know, I just felt very overwhelmed. I didn't
I understand why people feel embarrassed to like cry in front of people, but also crying is like such a human emotion, and you know, you can't always control when those things happen. So I understand why you felt embarrassed, but I hope in the future you won't. You know, I want that for everybody. As somebody who spent like a whole therapy session last week just crying, which granted, I guess maybe that's like where one tends to cry or might feel comfortable to cry. But I'm just saying, like, in general, cry, girl. If you gotta cry, cry.
Take advantage at the time and like ask more questions about why this is, or just like understand the situation a little bit more. So I have an option of emailing her. Okay. So I took advantage of that option. Yeah. And I kindly just wanted to like understand.
First of all, isn't it always an option to like reach out to your health professional? I don't. Why is she acting like this was like a special treat? She said, I'm so special they gave me the option to reach out to my health professional to get a better understanding of what they talk to. Yeah, that's typically how it works, isn't it? I don't know. Like, anytime I've had follow-up questions with a doctor, or like, well, mostly just a doctor, maybe my therapist, like, I just email them and say, hey, can we talk about this more, or call them.
And things a little bit more. So we've actually been emailing back and forth for a couple of days.
Okay.
And she has explained things a little bit better for me, that like there is someone like above her, a psychologist above her, who actually reads like all her notes on her patients and they help decide like the further plan for her patients. And the psychologist thinks that this is what's best for me, and so does the dietitian. But she also wants the surgeon's opinion, because everyone is different, every story is different, it's a different plan.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you're saying that, because that seemed to be a difficult concept for you just like 2 videos ago. You couldn't understand that everybody was different and that your experience might be different than the people on My 600-Pound Life versus might be different than the people in your inbox coming in and saying, well, you shouldn't have to do this, you should have to do this, blah, 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 blah. That's why you gotta focus on you, bestie. You gotta focus on you and your story, okay? It's so easy to just, like, you know, pick the narratives of comparing yourself to people when it works for you. But what really matters at the end of the day is what actually really does work for you based on what your health professional said.
It's not one size fits all at all.
Right.
So she's actually talking to the surgeon tomorrow about my story and my situation in particular, and she said she's going to get back to me. I wish I could talk to the surgeon.
Can you not? If this person's gonna be operating on you, you can't reach out to them and talk to them, or like somebody from their office. I'm so confused. Like, this is what has always confused me, especially in recent history with Amberlynn and like health professionals that she talks to, is that she always talks about like advocating for herself, but then when it comes to a situation like this, she like struggles to like reach out to anybody and talk to them. Like, she only just realized there was an option that she could even reach out to the dietitian to get a better understanding, which is confusing to me, like why she wouldn't have even done that to begin with. But now she's like, well, I wish I could talk to my weight loss surgeon. I'm sure you could at least reach out to somebody in his office.
Course one-on-one, because it is a lot of like telephone and like through the grapevine type thing, and I would love to talk to the surgeon one-on-one.
Then reach out to him.
I can't right now. The surgeon is very popular. There's just a way that they do things, and I understand that. So I think after, you know, she talks to the surgeon and communicates to me what the surgeon thinks should happen, I think I'll have a clearer answer. Okay,
but what happens when it's not the answer you want? What happens when it's not the answer you want, bestie? Are you gonna have another breakdown again? I'm so confused still that you can't reach out to anybody from his office to talk to anybody.
And I think what would be really helpful to me, and I don't know if this is like because I have that obsessive side of me. Like, I was diagnosed with OCPD, which is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. I was diagnosed with that like 5 years ago, and it was just like a couple years ago I was diagnosed with actual OCD. You can have both. So I don't know if it's what it is, but it's like I feel like I need to have my surgery date scheduled, even if it is a year from now.
Well, that doesn't sound like this is how that works. That doesn't sound like this is how that works. I don't understand. Bestie, you are just doing the utmost. You just need to listen to what your doctors and your team of healthcare providers are saying. That's what you need to focus on. That is what you need to forward focus on, bestie. I don't understand, because, like, also, again, this is a person who has been citing My 600-Pound Life and 1,000-Pound Besties, 1,000-Pound Sisters in terms of, like, what she thinks should be happening for her weight loss surgery. And in all of those cases, they don't schedule or pick a surgery date until the person has met all of the qualifications and necessary things to get surgery. So, like, what makes you think that you're special?
Or 10 months from now. I want to know the date, because for some reason it's like I know I'm working towards something.
Right.
Something big and something amazing and something life-changing. But I feel like if I have that exact date, then it's like I could touch it. I could feel it. I know it's there.
Yeah, but here's my question then also, because it sounds like she's saying what I'm hearing her say, at least. Let me know if you disagree. But what I'm hearing her say is like, I need this date so I have something to work towards, blah, 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 blah. But what happens once you get the surgery and there's still work to do? Then what is your motivation? I don't understand, you know, like that date is going to come and go. If you get surgery, there's still going to be more work to do after that. So what is going to continue pushing you? You need to have like motivation and goals that are based in like long-term well-being. Like outside of just like I'm reaching towards a date, and more so like I'm reaching towards like bettering my life. I don't understand. This is so, I don't know. It's just not making sense to me.
I don't know if that's like part of my OCPD, but I just feel like I need it scheduled. And it's like, obviously, if I don't meet requirements and I don't do what they tell me to do, etc., etc., then the surgery is going to be canceled. Also,
just because she does keep bringing up like her different like mental health diagnoses, I'm not familiar with either of those things, so I suppose this could be a part of it. But I also think then like that's when you actively talk to like a therapist on how to work through that, you know, like talk to a therapist about how do I stay motivated for this goal when like the world around me is not working the way I want it to, you know, because that's an important part that I think sometimes is frustrating when anybody talks about mental health on the internet, is that, but particularly Amberlynn, right? For Amberlynn, it's like these are all excuses for the ways that I behave or explanations for the ways that I behave, which I think is fine. I think diagnoses can really help us understand ourselves better and how we live with those different mental health diagnoses. But then there's also a part of having some kind of mental illness that also involves like understanding it and applying techniques and skills into your life so you can work with it and around it. You know what I'm saying? Like finding ways to achieve the things you want to despite having whatever mental health diagnosis it is, right? Like it's not necessarily an excuse to not go do things. Like there are so many people who have these things and still persevere.
But it's like if I do everything they tell me I'm gonna do and what I'm supposed to do, and it's like if I have a date for when my life is absolutely gonna change, I can see myself being more successful. It doesn't make sense to you guys, I'm sure. I'm sure it's not going to make any sense, which is fine. But just don't come for me. Don't judge me. It seems like attainable.
Don't come for me. Don't judge me. That always works out really well. That's exactly what people are going to do, bestie.
It's like I could touch it. I could feel it. I could taste it. If, like, there's an actual date. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird, okay? It's just because I hate the unknown. I hate the unknown. It's, like, the worst. So I feel like something that is possible. Because I know there are people, because there's people who have reached out to me who have gotten weight loss surgery. So many of you. So thank you for reaching out to me on my Instagram and sharing your stories. I love reading them and corresponding with you guys. A lot of you actually had your surgery like scheduled for 3 months out.
So let me just go back to literally what you said maybe 5 minutes ago in this video, which is that everybody is different and everybody is in a different program and has a different story. I just want to go back and remind you of what you literally just said. And
I was like, okay, so if people can do that, then I'm pretty sure like 10 to 12 months out is possible as well. It gives me
everybody has a different story, a different program, Amberlynn. Everybody's different.
A goal. It's like a physical goal. And there's no unknown. There's no like, oh my God, when is this gonna happen? So that is something that I wanna talk about with my dietitian and then like the surgeon, because eventually I will be seeing the surgeon and I'm excited for that appointment.
Well then do it, bestie.
The surgeon is like the end all be all type thing. And you know, for a minute there, I thought it was the psychologist was the end-all, be-all. But it's not. There's so many little tiny things when you get weight loss surgery. Outside of, like, bigger.
It makes so much sense that she is, like, always tired, struggling with sleep, because just listening to her I'm fucking exhausted. Like, and if I'm exhausted just listening to her, I just have to imagine she's exhausting herself. Like, this sounds like such an exhausting way to go about everything and talk about it in circles and, like, compare yourself to other people and just go on and on and on and on. Just, like, do the work. Do the work, and we'll get there, bestie.
Picture and the bigger things that you have to change. It's a lot, and someone like me, OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, where I feel like I have to be in control and I have to have it the right way, and like the appointments have to be the right way in the right order, and it's just like I don't have this control.
Right.
And I feel like I would have a sense of control if I just like had an exact date.
Well, I hate to tell you this. This is what I want to go back to just like moments ago, what I said, which is like there's going to be many things where you're not going to be in control in life. And because of that, like, you should talk with a mental health professional about how you can manage that. Like, if that really is, like, the struggle you're feeling because of your mental health diagnosis, then let's talk to a therapist about, like, things that we can do to help us with that feeling of lack of control, right?
And I could work towards that goal. I'm totally rambling right now.
You sure are.
I don't know. I'm just feeling more hopeful. I know in that video where I told you guys, like, this, you know, this whole year just gives me room to fail, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've obviously had some time to, like, think on it and absorb the information given to me. And I've had some people tell me that I was a spoiled brat because I was upset. That to me was like, ma'am, spoiled brat who? No, I'm ready to...
Wait. Don't act so surprised that somebody might have interpreted your behavior to be spoiled brat behavior, because it was definitely giving, the energy of a spoiled brat. It definitely was giving that a little bit, because, like, you very much had the attitude in that video, like, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to wait. I worked so hard for this. I deserve blah, 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 blah. It was giving entitlement. You sounded very entitled in that video. Let's just be honest with ourselves, Amberlynn. Like, please just be honest and serious with yourself for like 2 seconds.
Actively change my life, and I know that with weight loss surgery, it's gonna make it happen quicker and faster. It's gonna save my life. Hold on, someone's calling me. Anyways, let me answer this.
All right.
And I will talk to you guys later.
Okay.
I'm not a spoiled brat. I'm just ready to change my life. Okay, I'm back. I just got off the phone. I just felt like I needed to finish my thought process. I've had time to like think and like absorb and process, and obviously it was disheartening because like in my heart I was like, yeah, I got this. I'm totally gonna get surgery by summer. And it's like the fact that I was told that, you know, that's probably not gonna happen, like, of course that was a little sad. And it's like, if I wouldn't have felt that way, if I would have just been like, oh, okay, that's totally fine, then I know I'm not wanting this.
Well, it's okay. I think you're missing the point. Like, it's, I think, 100% understandable and relatable that you were upset that, like, something you thought was going to happen didn't. It's the way you talked about it that was giving the entitlement and, like, spoiled brat attitude, which was, like, oh, just because, like, everything didn't work out on my way, like, I'm gonna have to start something new and try something new, and this is just, like, so silly, and, like, it's so unfair that people on my 600-pound life get to do things and get to do them quickly, and I don't get to. That's what you were saying. Those were the things that you were saying that took it from, like, I'm sad and disappointed that this thing I was really excited for is not gonna happen, and took it to, I'm an entitled, spoiled brat. Okay? Just so we're clear and on the same page, okay? We're not gonna rewrite history where it was just like you were a little upset that you didn't get something you were really looking forward to. It was all the other stuff on top of that.
Because I'm very much like instant gratification.
Yeah, right.
I want,
Correct.
that instant.
Right.
And it's like, I only want that when I really want something. So if I wouldn't have felt the way that I did when I was first told that information, then it's like, that's an indicator that, Amberlynn, you don't want this as bad as you thought you did.
Okay. So the indicator that you want it is that you're a spoiled, entitled brat. And if you hadn't been a spoiled, entitled brat, then it wouldn't have shown or proven that you really wanted to do this thing. Got it. I got it. Okay.
No. So it's like the fact that I did react that way is a total Amberlynn. Like, of course I'm gonna be disheartened, and I'm gonna, I've spent my whole life, like my first diet when I was 11 years old, I've spent my whole life yo-yo dieting. And it's like, if I was able to do it by myself.
Was that Twinkie or was that my dog? I don't think that was Judy. That must have been Twinkie.
If I was able to do it by myself and be successful by myself, then I would have already done it. And I know that with this extra tool of weight loss surgery, it's going to change my life.
Right.
And it's going to help me.
Right.
This might be the tool that might actually save my life.
Definitely. Wait. This is bringing up a new point to me as well, which is that the other reason you came across as entitled and spoiled is because nobody even told you that you weren't getting the surgery. They just said you had to wait. And so, yeah, you very much did come across as a spoiled brat because you just couldn't wait. You didn't have the willpower, even though you told us you found some willpower recently. You didn't have the willpower to just wait and keep doing what you were doing.
If you're trying to hang up this picture, and
this
it's like
picture?
You're trying to hang it up for...
You keep bringing up these pictures of sangria and margaritas. And girl, I drank too much yesterday for me to be thinking about all of that right now in this moment.
10 years... and it's not hanging. You're like, what is happening? You realize, oh,
this is a metaphor.
Okay, this picture's pretty heavy. Maybe I need a nail. Get that nail. The nail is right there.
What?
In arm's reach. But they say, you know what? That's way deeper. You're like, damn. I just need that one last little tool.
Sorry
for hanging the picture on my wall. That might be a bad metaphor, but...
That was a horrible metaphor. That was such a goofy metaphor. Because first of all, the nail is not even the tool. I mean, I guess it's a tool, but like, what were you... I guess it's a horrible metaphor because what were you trying to hang the picture with to begin with? You know, I don't know. I mean, I get what she's trying to say. But also like nails and hammers, they don't have any pre-qualifications for using them, right? You just have to know in general how they work. Weight loss surgery requires a lot of prerequisites in order to use that tool, and so they're very different in that sense, you know? Like hammers and nails, most people can figure out how to use them, maybe not use them perfectly, but they're also not going to like, I don't know, you're not going to harm yourself. Well, I guess you could. I guess if you're really incompetent, you could harm yourself with a hammer and nail, but it's not like life-ending consequences, right? Like, weight loss surgery is a very serious tool that requires a lot of prerequisites for a reason. Does that make sense? Does that make sense why it's a bad metaphor? Do you get it? Do you got it?
That's just the best way to explain it, that like, my picture can't be hung without the nail.
What do you know about your picture being hung? You know what I'm saying? What do you know about a hung picture?
You know, and that's my metaphor for weight loss surgery.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Poet Lynn.
But I can't get to a healthy weight without the help of surgery.
Well, that's why you just gotta do it.
I've lost.
You just gotta keep working on what you're doing because you are losing some, or at least that's what you've told us.
89 pounds multiple times in my life. The most I've ever lost is 116.
Wow. Okay.
I can't go any further than that. Like, I need help. And that is why weight loss surgery is there. And
for sure,
you know, I'm very saddened that people took it that way, that I seemed like a spoiled brat, or like I was throwing a tantrum.
Well, bestie.
God, no. God.
If the shoe fucking fits, girly. if the ballet slipper fits.
No. It was just so... I've been so stressed with all of the tests and not being able to turn to food for, like, emotional reasons. And, you know, you have to realize that for years at a time, for months at a time, whatever it may be, whatever era I was in my life, I would turn to food all the time. And already that being taken from me because I'm so serious about weight loss surgery, like, already that being taken, it just adds a whole other stress on top of, like, all the appointments and just everything. It's just been really stressful. And
yeah, exactly. What do you think's gonna happen after weight loss surgery when you can physically only eat so much food and you're not also going to be able to turn to food then? Perhaps that's why they're suggesting to you that you need to take some time to get used to that feeling and working through those feelings. I don't know, perhaps with a therapist. And that's why they're suggesting, yeah, you need to get used to this feeling because you have been dependent upon this in the past. And so we want to make sure you can really handle that challenge before you have it taken away from you physically by surgery.
I don't need people to understand that, but I guess it's just like to be called a spoiled brat when it's like, that's not me. That's not me. That is not who I am as a person at all. And to be told, like, you're throwing a tantrum.
Besties, maybe I need to put some glasses on, because maybe she's seeing something I'm not, and I just need to get my vision checked or something, because... What? Are we watching the same channel? Are we watching the same channel? Maybe, let me keep these glasses on. Maybe this will help out. Maybe I'll be able to see something I didn't see before.
What? Yeah, I'm sad that, like, saving my life has been prolonged, and I know a lot of people are like, do it yourself then in this year. Yeah, I'm gonna do what they tell me.
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to actively save my life in this year until I get weight loss surgery.
No, that's exactly the reason that you have the wrong attitude. These glasses ain't helping shit. I'm not seeing anything better.
It's like I cannot hang this picture successfully.
Stop with the picture.
Until I have the nail that I need. And I don't know how else to explain that. And I'm just very grateful that, like, my dietitian completely understands where I'm coming from, because sometimes the risk of getting weight loss surgery is less than the risk of not getting it.
See, she just watched Tammy's episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters where Tammy got the weight loss surgery, and Dr. Smith said to Tammy in that episode, like, yes, you have some health risks, but the risk of you continuing on with those health risks at the size that you are is greater. It's like a better option for you to get the surgery, potentially have some risks during surgery, than it is for you to not get the surgery. And I feel like she's repeating a lot of that, if that makes sense. I know I stumbled over some of my words when I was explaining that episode. I did do a recap of it if you want to see it there, but that was like basically what Tammy's doctor said in that episode, right? Was that sometimes there are things that are risks, but it's more risky to not get the surgery. And that feels like what she is basically repeating here in this situation.
And that is a very, like, hot topic of, like, which is more risky for me currently. And in my heart and in my soul, I feel like it's more risky for me not to get the surgery, because
you're not also the doctor that's making that assessment, because that's also the difference, is that Tammy did go to several... I don't know that she's actively comparing herself, for the record, to Tammy. It just sounds very similar to things that were said in Tammy's episode. But the thing about Tammy is that she saw several medical professionals. Those medical professionals all sat down with her, talked to her about the risks, and then also shared all of that information with her surgeon. And together with her surgeon made the decision that those risks were worth taking to save her life. You're just saying, like, on your own, because what you want right now is weight loss surgery, that all of this is worth the risk. And that's, I don't think, your place to be making that assessment.
We all know Amberlynn, and I don't hold on to success for months at a time. I don't. Like, I'll do amazing for a couple weeks, and then I just fall flat. And I end up failing because I feel like I have nothing to work towards. And now I do.
That's so weird, though.
I have weight loss surgery to work towards.
And you just haven't had the, like, shiny diamond at the end of the maze, or the cheese at the end of the maze, or the carrot in front of the horse, or whatever, because you've always had something to work towards. It just hasn't been the right shiny object for you to work towards. You know what I'm saying? Like, your health and your livelihood has always been something to work towards. You just can't think long term like that, which is why you need this, like, short-term goal of knowing what day you're getting your surgery on.
Bottom line, and long story short, it's just this program.
Long story short, all we've been talking about for 15 minutes so far is this. What part of this is short?
Worries about people with BED or possible BED, because
the possible,
you don't want your stomach to rupture.
The possible has come back, even though she acknowledges she was diagnosed with it. Okay, but the possible BED, we got it. Cool.
After surgery or anything like that, whether I was misdiagnosed in the past or not, the fact is I was diagnosed.
Right. Okay.
And I was
thank
seeing
you.
a psychologist for a year. I literally had someone message me. And they're like, my first appointment with the weight loss surgery place is coming up. And should I lie to them about having binge eating disorder? And I responded to them and I said, no. You need to be honest. Because...
Yeah, you need to be honest. You need to be honest, bestie. Who out here is going to Amberlynn for advice on honesty? Get out of here.
Yes. For some programs like mine, it's a big setback. I know there's a lot of programs out there where it's not like this, and unfortunately I'm not lucky enough to have found that program. But it's like, there's a big bittersweet, because the surgeon I'm seeing, phenomenal. The team, phenomenal. Like, I love the dietitian. I love everyone that I've spoken to at this clinic.
This is classic Amberlynn too. This is classic Amberlynn, where it's like, the team is amazing and great and they're wonderful and they're the best at what they do, but I'm not going to trust them when they say that I need to wait a year for weight loss surgery, because I know better than them. I think they're great, they're phenomenal, world's best weight loss surgeon, but when they say that I need to wait a year, well, I know better. Classic. It's really giving, like, when she went to the lymphedema doctor, then ignored all of her other people's advice, all of her other doctors' advice, because suddenly she had the best doctor in the world that's helped her. It's giving, I'm going to this therapist, even though they believe in health at every size, and that's not something I believe in. They're great and wonderful and amazing outside of that. It's giving all of that. It's giving all of that.
Everyone I've seen, phenomenal. Like, everything that I feel has nothing to do with them. It has been just an amazing experience. Besides the setback. But it has nothing to do with them.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with them? This is their program. This is their program. So, like, if they made that decision, that has everything to do with them.
So everything that I'm saying is just because, like, I'm an impatient little gal.
Right.
And I'm ready to save my life.
Impatient little gal, also known as entitled spoiled brat. Yeah, those things go hand in hand. Hand in hand.
I'm fucking ready. A year does seem super far. I'm not
sure.
gonna lie. But it's okay. It's okay.
Right, exactly.
Time goes by regardless. And
wow,
in a year from now, I could be in a way better spot. you know? So I
Yeah.
have to really...
Well, you also did say you wanted to wait until the time was right to get the surgery. And so you would wait however long your surgeon needed you to wait. And you also wanted to be, like, your body to be in the best shape that it could be at the time of surgery. So, yeah, I don't understand why it's all of a sudden an issue to wait.
Look at, like, the positives of the situation as well. Like, they're looking out for me, and I love that.
Exactly!
So what I was saying was, like, yeah, someone messaged me and said, should I tell them should I lie about that? And I was like, what? No. I hope that is not what I am portraying as a person, that you should lie. Because that is, you need to be...
You can't lie to your medical professionals, just to your YouTube audience, okay? That's the line. That's the line that you got to draw in the sand.
100% honest. I never even, for like 3 seconds, thought, maybe I should lie. No. Just don't do that. And I hope that my story is not making other people want to lie their way into surgery or out of surgery. Like, absolutely not. But I do feel like, because a lot of people seem to be confused with my whole BED story.
A lot of people seem to be confused with my BED story, and I can't imagine why. It's not like I came on camera and told you all that I had it years ago when I got diagnosed, to telling you I was suddenly cured of it and I never had it. I was misdiagnosed. I just have food addiction, to saying that, like, oh, well, I was honest and told them that I was diagnosed with it, so now I can't get weight loss surgery when I want. It's not a confusing story. You just got to follow along.
Diagnosed situation. I do want to, in a different video, because I feel like I'm being so long-winded. I was not expecting this. To sit and just, like, talk, so I'm sorry.
You weren't expecting to get on YouTube and just sit and talk? Isn't that what you do on YouTube these days?
I think in a future video, I do want to explain the process of me being diagnosed and what was said and that whole situation, because I know there are a lot of people who are, like, so confused, or like, how come 1 minute you have it, 1 minute you
right, exactly.
I think maybe I should just, like, go further into detail. And, you know, that brings me to, like, so many situations in my life, because...
Well, that is interesting, because you did say you were going to stop sharing so much about your journey and about your experience and things like that, and yet we're here. And yet we're here.
I've had people like, your foster care timeline doesn't make sense. And I'm just like...
Girl...
People want to, like, consider me a liar about everything because they'll only watch, like, a few of my videos, and then they'll skip some of my videos and watch just, like, reaction channels and just, like, hear what reaction channels say, where reaction channels 9 times out of 10 have their information wrong, and it's just like, no wonder why people are so confused. Like, I don't know about the foster story stuff. I don't really try to get too involved in that because, like, to be honest, she's only ever shared, like, small snippets, and I am not out here trying to piece together timelines. But when it comes to the BED story, like, that's all very recent, that there's been all of these changes and things like that. And you have very consistently, for so long on your channel, talked about how you do experience BED. And now all of a sudden it's been switched up right before, conveniently, you need to get weight loss surgery. And a lot of people speculated that the reason you were switching it up is because you were worried that you wouldn't be able to get weight loss surgery with the BED diagnosis, and now look at what's happening. It's getting delayed because you once upon a time did have a BED diagnosis. So, like, you don't even have to, like, pay attention for more than 2 seconds of a video, because that's, like, primarily all you've been talking about in recent ones to get that confusion. Like don't make this about other people. Like, the way you've described all of this and explained all of this is where the confusion's coming from. The confusion's coming from inside the house, bestie. I have flat out seen comments where people are like, no, actually, this is the fact and not this. And, like, the fact is so wrong. It's, like, an actual lie.
Okay, then...
So it's, like...
Then just have that in your heart.
Confused and stuff. And it's like,
just know that in your heart, then. And, like, go on. Let people be wrong. Sometimes you just gotta let people be wrong. Honestly, truly.
I need to make a whole video where it's, like, frequently asked questions. Me just explaining things and timelines and situations and confusions, because it just seems like
a waste of your time,
so
bestie.
Confused about everything I talk about, and it's like I don't know how, because I try my hardest to explain myself to the best of my ability without oversharing, and even so, like I feel like I overshare. Yeah. So it's like I don't know what I'm doing over here.
You're always oversharing. You're always sharing things that conflict. Like you're sharing details that conflict. You're providing more details than enough sometimes, and then sometimes you provide no details. Your communication is not consistent, and that's probably half the problem. There's probably a lot of things that are very true about the stories you tell, and it's just the way that you tell them. You're bad at communication, bestie.
I'm trying my hardest. Like I literally have envisioned myself making a whole foster care timeline, like actually physically drawing it out to show you guys. Because people are like, I thought you never lived with your parents. How come you say you've lived with your parents? Oh my god, I'm confused. Oh my gosh, she's lying. Like, it just doesn't add up. Shit doesn't add up. Oh my god. I hate when people say that about my life. Or things that I'm...
Not the call out about the shit's not adding up. not the Zachary Michael shit's not adding up call outs.
Talking about or sharing. That might be one of the biggest pet peeves I have with like people watching me, or like choosing to watch reaction channels and like ignoring what I'm saying, but like listening to reaction channels.
Bestie, I'm listening and I am confused. I'm sitting here watching your whole entire clips, and you're confusing. You are so confusing. Don't put this on me, bestie. I didn't make you confusing, you did.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Shit ain't adding up.
She's really out here calling me out. I have the merch and everything. And she said, Zachary Michael is my biggest pet peeve. Zachary Michael's so goddamn annoying.
Because you're using the wrong math, honey.
Bessie, no, I was a math major in college. Oh, I didn't end with a math major. I ended up with a math minor, a mathematical studies minor. But I did study math, and I understand quite well how math works, okay? This is not on me. Stop coming for me.
That's the only reason why it's not adding up, because you're not, it's the wrong equation. You're doing multiplication in a division book. Like, what? I have some more stuff.
I would like to just in general see Amberlynn do any actual math. I know she's not talking about literal math here, but wouldn't it be fun to just watch her do like calculus or attempt to do calculus? Well, maybe that's setting the bar too high. Algebra. Just watching her do some basic algebra on screen. I would love to see it. I would watch that shit so fast.
Because it's 4 p.m. and I'm barely at 2,000 steps.
Well, let's get walking. I'll do it with you again.
Do a little bit of this. Earlier
I'll do it with you again.
While walking, I had my book and I was just like, do. How you doing today?
Oh.
So, yeah. I also heard like people aren't believing my steps, and someone actually said, "Yeah, I work retail and I barely get 3,000 steps a day." 10 minutes a day? Like, I don't get it. Because if you're working retail, are you, like, walking? Because if you're walking for 8 hours a day, you should be getting a lot more than 3,000.
Bessie's, I think this is a great example, by the way, of something that we keep revisiting in this video, which is that everybody's different and you can't compare. I don't know. It's hard to say how many steps she actually takes when she goes from one side of her apartment to the other, when none of us have actually been in her apartment or have her legs or her body, you know, because, and I say that because I used to, when I had a Fitbit, I have an Apple Watch now, but back when I had a Fitbit, I used to participate in these, like, work week challenges with people I worked with, and two of the people were, like, significantly shorter than me, and would walk so many more steps than me at any given day. And it's because they had to take more steps. They got them little legs. And now I got these long-ass legs. Well, I don't even know. I probably went the wrong way because you're going to have the video blocking you. But these long-ass legs, like, look at these. It takes a long time, like, less steps for me to get in the same distance as Amberlynn, you know? Does that make sense? Why am I doing this? Oh my god, I'm so tired today. I'm so out of it.
So either your Fitbit or whatever is counting your steps, it's inaccurate. Because when I just go to the physical grocery store, it's like 2,000 steps.
And everybody's different.
Easy peasy.
Everybody's different.
So I don't know. I don't know, folks. I just feel like I have never lied about my steps. Ever. And people just want me to be lying about everything.
Well, some things you do be lying about. let's just be honest about that. I don't know if you're lying about your steps or not, but you do sometimes lie. You really do.
They do. They just want me to be lying. Like,
well,
I haven't lied about anything. And people just out here.
Anything ever? Do we at least have, can we put like some parameters on time? You know, like maybe you haven't lied about anything today. but ever? Anything ever? I don't know about that, bestie.
That's a lie. That's a lie. This whole video is a lie. Like,
well,
how?
Bestie, like, that ballet flat is fitting. Wear it.
It makes my brain hurt. Like, physically, like, my brain hurts when people are like, this whole video is a lie. When every single last letter and syllable that I said in the video is
Which video?
true.
Which video?
This video is a whole lie.
Which video?
Like, oh my god.
Which video, though?
Yeah. It's just exhausting. It's so exhausting.
Yeah, go take a nap.
I'm gonna go. And I will see you guys in my next video, my next vlog. I know this vlog was just me like talking.
Yeah, this was not a vlog. This was just you sitting. You sitting the whole time. I'm irritated.
Minute. It's just sometimes I just need to express myself and express concern and explain myself, and I literally could continue this conversation for the next lifetime. Like, I could still talk. I could just ramble on forever.
I'm aware.
I actually need to go to the pharmacy before it closes.
Yeah, get that vitamin D.
Pharmacy's closed at 6. I don't really know. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm probably gonna take a little Uber. I get so much anxiety.
You're taking an Uber?
Working, and I don't want to bother her. She's always willing to help me whenever, but it's like, people have beat it into my head that I can do things on my own. No, I don't drive, by no means. But I don't need nobody.
I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I can get this vitamin D on my own.
I can do everything on my own. That's why there's Ubers, okay? They're there to help people who don't drive. And that's okay. Anyways,
it's true.
I'm gonna go.
It's true. I also do not drive.
Love you. Bye.
All right. Well, that was something. That was something. Feeling a little called out there at the end. I can't believe she kept saying, shit doesn't add up. That's my pet peeve. She basically was saying Zachary Michael's my pet peeve, and that's not something I signed up for today. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I have so many, and check out my merch, my Cameo, my whoever, whatever. And that's all I got, so I'll see you all next time. Bye!